All right, so I know completing the square can be a little disconcerting, so I just wanted to do a little mini review of it so that after you've seen it already, maybe it'll help you out a little. So we have numbers on one side, letters on the other, so we have these two here. This one's got to move. So subtract the 11, move it to the other side. 3x squared plus 6x equals negative 11. So now here, this number has to be 1. It's a 3, so I'm going to just factor out the 3. And I'm left with x squared plus 2x. And we're going to add something here. Same deal, I have to add it to the other side. Okay, so we create our binomial, bring that 3 down. Take that, divide it by 2. Take this and square it. Now, I can't just throw it over to the other side here, okay, because there's actually a 3 times it. So it has to be 3 times 1 is going to be added to that other side. So that is a 3. So that is a little tricky. So you have to be a little careful there, but that's it. You're done there. So negative 11 plus 3 is negative 8, I think. And now we solve. So we got a lot of garbage going on here. This has a lot of everything. So I'm taking the square root of negative 8 over 3. Okay. Remember, we have a negative under the radical, so that becomes a positive I. And since I put the square root on, I have to put the plus or minus. So there's a lot of stuff there. I just need more room, sorry, so I'm going to go over here. So x plus 1 squared equals, now I'm going to reduce this 8 thingy here. Okay, so that is 2I radical 2, because the square root of negative 8 is I. 4 and 2, so that square root of 4 is 2, so that's 2I radical 2. And divided by radical 3. It looks ugly, but that's just the way it is, and that's plus or minus. Last thing that I have to do, oh, I took the square root already of this. Blum, blum, blum. So, since I took the square root of both sides already, this radical shouldn't be on this side. Right? This should cancel itself out. And then all I have to do, last step, subtract 1. So there's a lot of stuff happening there, but most of it's just math. And this is a perfectly acceptable answer to leave. It's beautiful. You're done with that one. So there's a lot of stuff. Watch it again if it's still a problem. But super fun. Okay, letters on one side, numbers on the other. This letter should be over here, so I need to subtract to move the whole term. So it's x squared minus 5x equals 7. The number in front here is 1, so I'm good to continue. I simply take this guy, and I know I have to add something there. Oh, I'm going to add something here. I like to add it there. Right there. Okay, so I'm dividing this by 2. And then I square it, so it's 25 over 4, excuse me, and 25 over 4. So remember, when you're squaring to put it in this spot, just square the 5, square the 2, and just put them there. Okay? And then we have, when you add these two, you get 53 over 4. Yeah, use your calculator, get common denominators, whatever you got to do to add those two, do it. Take the square root, x minus 5 over 2 equals plus or minus, this is the same as radical 53 over radical 4. So the square root of 4 is 2, I can just put that there, and radical 53 stays on the top, and then I just simply add 5 over 2. And our final answer is 5 over 2 plus or minus radical 53 over 2. It's nasty, but whatever. It's done. So who cares? All right. Oh, and then this super mega ukulele right here. All right. So this one has a lot of joy. Brings math teachers Super fun. Okay, number, gotta move. You gotta be over there. So we have 2x squared plus 5x equals negative 3. So there's a 2 here, 2 here, and so I need to factor out a 2. So I factor out a 2, and when I do that, I get, unfortunately, 5 over 2 there. Okay? So I need to add something to both sides. Now, I'll make this a box to make you realize that this number here and this number here are not the same number. When you factor out that 2, so that means you have to multiply. So this number is our perfect square, and this number is that number multiplied by 2. Okay, just as a reminder. All right, so the 2 stays here. We're going to make our perfect square, and everything will be better. All right, so this one, I have to take this number here and divide it by 2. When you divide something by 2, it's the same as multiplying it by half, so it's simply 5 over 4. Then I'd have to square it to put it there, so 25 over 16. So I have to add 25 over 16 to make this a perfect square. But what I have to add to the other side over here is 2 times that. So 2 times that is 25 over 8. All right, use your calculator if you can't figure that out, but it's just like if you think of it as 2 over 1, the 2 reduces with the 16 and makes it an 8. 50 over 16 is the same thing. I just reduced it. All right, now I have to add these two. Use your calculator, get common denominators, however you choose. And handily enough, that's 1 over 8. All right, then we just solve. Divide by 2. Again, if you're really uncomfortable with fractions, with problems like these are the rarity. We don't see these as much as we should. Use your calculator. So this is 1/8 divided by 2. So remember, this is keep, change, flip. If you remember that from, it's multiplying by the reciprocal, keep, change, flip when you're doing dividing fractions. So that is 1 over 16. Half of 1/8 is 1/16. That makes complete sense. Take the square. It really does. I'm not like being sarcastic. It really makes sense. So this is the same as radical 1 over radical 16. So that's just 1/4. So it's plus or minus 1/4. So x equals, so now, this is a really good thing. So this is, I say that like I've never seen this before, even though I made it up. So this here, this problem is actually 2 problems. Okay, this plus or minus makes it 2 problems. So x plus 5 over 4 equals 1/4, with the positive version up here, this guy. And x plus 5 over 4 equals a negative 1/4. And then we simply solve each of these. So if you wind up with just numbers, you kind of have to do the math. So this is negative 1. And this is negative 6 over 4, or negative 3 over 2 if you reduce. All right. Super fun. See you tomorrow.